Shambho Mahadeva. So in chapter 12, 16th sloka, Bhagavan starts describing about various divisions of the Chaturvarna. The first one being the Brahmacharya, Brahmana. Brahmana means, I told you in the previous class also somewhere, the one who is following the Brahma Tattva, Brahmasya Brahmana, and Manaha plus Brahma. So Brahmanaha, the one who is expanding the mind towards the Brahma, Mana, Brahma, expanding or exploring, expanding the mind towards that truth is called Brahmana. So Mana, Brahma, Brahmana, Brahmana, Brahmana. This is how the word Brahmana has been created. They are not by birth, they are by practice. In fact, every division here we mentioned about the caste. That means each division of the human is based on his karma. Like in Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan said, Chaturvarna, varna, is based on his characteristics, not by inheritance. So the karma should be the one which makes a person into that purification process and then attaining the Parabrahman also. So each division is made based on those practices, the thoughts. It is not only the physical execution of certain things. Some people are very good at expressing, very good at putting functions of various things, but internally they have a different, absolutely an opposite way of execution of thoughts. Varnas are not that. It is not for the physical world, it is for the self. The caste is based for the self. It is not meant for others to understand them. It is for self. A Brahmana should be a Brahmachari only for the self. How does it matter to the other man whether one is a Brahmachari or whether he is a Kshatriya who is a Raja, whether he is a Vaishya or whether he is a Shudra or whether he is somebody else? How does it matter to the other person? It's immaterial to him. What you are doing, what is your karma, who is bothered? There are hundreds of people, thousands of people in the world. Each one is doing their own way of function, their own way of living. They are thinking in their own patterns, depending upon their own experiences and karma balas. They are functioning according to their own whims and fancies, according to their own ideals, their own ideas, their own perceptions, their own discipline, their own acharana, vicharana. It's all individuals, they are doing it. How does it matter to the other man? You see, it doesn't matter to the other man at all. Same way, if one is a Brahman, these divisions are not for making a group of people and creating problem. It is meant for each one to develop themselves. And the identity is not certified by anybody. It's not that I am certifying you are a Brahmana, you are a Kshatriya or Vaishya or Shudra. You see, who can certify? The certification is done by the tapasvis, gurus, maharishis, the jnanis who know about it. All the more the certification, they don't certify also. If at all one has to certify, They are the ones who are eligible to certify, who can see your functions internally and externally. What you are thinking, who knows? Only you know. So who is the judge? It's you who is the judge. Who decides I am a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or Vaishya Shudra? It is you. Your own self is the one who is deciding this. It is not someone else writing down because of these physical characteristics. So and so is a Brahmana. Because he is sitting on a throne, he is a Kshatriya. There are so many inefficient Rajas. They are not to be considered as Kshatriyas. Yes. In fact, when you look through Mahabharata, there are examples, it is not that. When you look through Mahabharata, after Shantanu, Bhishma has taken over, then Bhishma did not marry and did not have children. Had he had children, probably the Kuru Vamsha would have continued. The Chandra Vamsha would have continued. But the Chandra Vamsha literally ended with Bhishma. Shantanu, in fact Shantanu. The Chandra Vamsha has ended with Shantanu. The others were only, even though they were appointed, they could not do it. They were inefficient kings, Satyavati's putras. They could not continue, even though they were Shantanu's putras. They could not continue. Even that also would have been okay. That also could not be continued. Then what happens? Maharishi Vyasa had to be present. Then certain Antras, certain Pandavas were born by the Manasaputras. They are all Manasaputras. They are all Pandavaputras. Even though we call them as Pandavaputras. Each one is different from different devatas. Yes, we all know that. And in Kuru Vamsha. And so, therefore, the Pandu and the Dhritarashtra themselves, they are not Kshatriyas according to the rule of Kshatriya Niyama. Are they Kshatriyas? Finished. Chandra Vamsha is over. But they functioned as Kshatriyas. They were accepted as Kshatriyas. Even Bhagavan, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, being a Kshatriya, you are supposed to do it. He has been accepted. Yes. What does it mean? Bhagavan has accepted them as Kshatriyas because of their karma. Because in that position, he is a Kshatriya. That's all. See? You understand that? Same way the Brahmanas. That's why in Tapasvis and Maharishis, they have no classification of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. He could have been born in any family and anybody could become a Maharishi. Maitreya, Itara, has become a great Tapasvi, great Maharishi. He wrote Upanishad, Maitreya Upanishad. He is from Itara, from unknown. No? So Tapasvi is beyond these Chaturvarnas, above these Chaturvarnas, because he is a pure Brahmachari, he is a Naishtika Brahmachari, he is an absolute seeker of the Parabrahman, and he is a Brahma Sakshatkari, and he is a Brahmajnani. For a Brahmajnani, there are no Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. All the four Varnas are in him. It is not that he is none of them, he is everyone. Always it is like that. As I told you, renunciation doesn't mean that we are leaving something. We are acquiring much broader perceptivity of great Brahma Tattva, Brahmajnanam. Same way, the caste also is like that. So it has to be very clear. It is not a group of people certified by some human beings that so and so. No baptizing here. Nobody is authorized to say somebody is a Brahmana. The only authorization is by the Gurus By tapasvis and jnanis can be given. He can say he is a brahmachari, he is a brahmacharya, he is the one who is a Brahmana, who is supposed to be doing only tapasya. And he is the one who is Kshatriya, who is to fight. He is the one who can divide them, who can tell them that this is what you are supposed to do, is one. Second is that, or the prime is that, the self itself. He himself knows that who am I? You all look into yourself. It's not a very difficult subject at all. You look at your pattern of thought and you look at your pravritti, what you are doing, you know who you are. Whether you are a Brahmana, you are a Kshatriya, you are a Vaishya or a Shudra. That's all. You are you. That's all. This is what you are. Nobody has to tell you that this is what you are. Certain formalities have been incorporated externally only for the purpose of making them, doing the pious condition. Suppose there is a Upanayana has been put. He is identifying his vow himself as a brahmachari so that others will help him to continue with his brahmacharya. Suppose a brahmachari has to have certain disciplines, the others will not interfere with him for other things. Suppose this identity is not there, probably somebody might interfere without knowing him. Somebody might interfere his acharana and disturb him. So in order to make others help him, he would like to wear a Upanayana. There is no other significance of that. It's why known as it is sacred thread. Thread is not sacred. Thread is only for the identification. The thread is only the same. The thread is only for identification of sacredcy. The thread is meant for the sacredcy, not the thread is sacred. If the thread is sacred, every year they cannot change it. Every year they have to throw it out because it gets old, worn out. So they put a new thread and that thread becomes sacred thread. So sacredcy of not in the thread. Sacredcy is in you. This is only an identification every year. They with the chanting of Gayatri mantra, they change it on a particular day. The Guru will come, ask him to do certain penance and change the Upanayana with a new thread. That's all. So thread is not auspicious. Even though they call it as this an auspicious thread or sacred thread, sacredcy is in you, and the thread is only somebody in different system, different method of identification. If if somebody is wearing a particular code of dress, he is identified as so and so. Suppose in an organization or in certain discipline of army or in a police or in other certain people have got certain identification, number of stars or number of medals, number of the cap or various identifications are there. So one need not to ask, hey, are you so and so? By looking at it, he knows he is so and so. Upanayana is that. This is only for, so that the others will, not for anything else. This is not an ornament to adore himself to with that. It's not that. It is an identification so that the others will perform his duties, not interfering this person's duties. He knows that he is so and so, he is supposed to do that duty of his. I should not go and interfere in his duties. Is why the certain people have got this. In fact, the Upanayana is put for many people. Even a Vaishya is wearing an Upanayana because he is also a brahmachari. In him also there is a brahmachari. We will be going through that. So these identifications are not for creating a union of people and to create problem. or to create something in the society. Bhagavan created these varnas have been identified in the Upanishads and Vedas based on his pravrti, based on his karma, not for anything else. They are not different. Anybody can join, anybody can resign from those karmas. It's not very firm. Nobody drawn a rule on that except for the Maharishis and Tapasvis. There are no other things. Anybody can become a Brahmana, or the Brahmana can become a Vaishya and Shudra. There's no problem. He can do his own karmas according to his own way, no problem. And he only knows whether he is doing an achana, or sometimes Brahmana, sometimes Shudra. Okay. Who bothers? Who bothers? In fact, is anybody bothers about what the other man is thinking and what the other man is doing? So long it is not interfering, it's perfectly okay. How do you know how many Brahmanas are there, how many Kshatriyas are there? There are cruel kings. We have seen the history. There are very pious kings. They are very kind and kings. There are different kinds of kings. Some are known as Raja Rishis. Some are known as the Rajas, Maharajas, or the Chakravartis. Various kinds of them are there. Yes, who bothers? They are all different according to their own way. Each one has performed his duty and he has gone. Nobody is to accept him. So these classifications, you have to have a clear concept of the varna. Today, it's a major issue in our country. Is why I am emphasizing. We are also, to a certain extent, why to a certain extent? To some extent or great extent, we are also, our brains also washed. Brainwashing has been done from the childhood and from the society, from the generations. It keeps on going. Even though we all must be knowing, even today's generation, they all know about it. But still there is a catch there. And they still have a feeling that, oh, these people are such and such, these people are such and such. So the varna according to Upanishad, the varna according to the Shastras, varna according to the Vedic science is based on his karma. Yes. This is called religion. Now the ones who has come out of it, they also have been mentioned. They are also the religions which are not included in all these characteristics. They are known as the others, which is called the Hindutva. Here till today we can say the Hindu. Today's, according to today's classifications, we can say Hindu and non-Hindu. The Hindutva is based on these principles. The others are Itara. Now, let us continue. Go ahead. What are these characteristics? Shamo, tamas, stapaha, shaucham, santosham, kshantirarjavam, madbhaktischa daya satyam, brahma pragadayat svimaha. Shamo, tamas, tapaha, shaucham, santosha. We have learnt about this already in our Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Shama, Dhamma, Tapa, Shaucham, all this. They all come under the process of Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Dharana, Dhyanam, Samadhi. In short, that is the gist of it. The one who is doing all this acharana, Shama, control of mind. Shama is control of. What is control of mind? Shama. Shama is also Shantata. Shama is, what is Shama? Shantata, control of mind. What is control of mind? Controlling means, no, I am thinking like this, but I will not do it like that. Is not control of mind. It is most disastrous characteristics of the mind. I have got a thought, but I have got patience not to do it. It's not a patience actually. I have to do it, I will not do it. I am thinking like this, but I will not do it. Externally, this is why I told you in the beginning itself, what is mind and what is this. Externally he says, oh no. If I do this, the samaj, the society will earmark you as somebody so and so. So in externally, I should be not doing, but internally his mind is always working on that. Is it shamaha? Is it control of mind? What do you mean by control of mind? Not to do something which you are thinking? Not to think what you are thinking? No, I don't want to think like that. I am thinking like that. But I realized it. But I am saying that, no, I don't want to think anymore. From next time, I will not think like that. This next time never comes. He doesn't know that. Who decides this? Next time again it comes, see, no, I will not do it. Is it control of mind? It is not control of mind. Take it for granted. Okay. It is agitation of mind. It is only agitation of mind. And through this agitation of mind, you are deriving wrong results out of it. No? Then what is control of mind? Control of mind is shamaha. That's why it is known as shama. Shama is shantata of the mana. Non-agitative status of mind. Simple. Hey, I am very happy. Is an agitated status of mind. Hey, I am very sad. Agitative status of mind. Hey, I am angry. Agitative status of mind. No, I will not do it. Agitation of mind. Yes, I will do it. Agitation of mind. Everything, agitation of mind. In everything, you form an opinion of your... Why it is known as agitation? You form an opinion of yourself through your intelligence, through your emotion, through your indriyas, through your experience. You are churning and creating a product out of it is called an agitated mind's reaction. Ultimately what happens? Whatever comes through that with an agitation, you will implement it saying that I have thought very well, and after thinking for so many times, I have come to a determination of this and this, and I have implemented it. And what happened? It went wrong. What happened? It went wrong. Why? With so much of agitation, you said you have decided. Then what happened? How can it go wrong? Because they are the results of an agitated mind. What are you thinking? You are thinking only in those lines through your intelligence. So the control of mind. How? This we have discussed number of times about mind when we have spoken. Also in other occasions we spoke about mind. Mind should be oriented towards the antakarana and the Parabrahman and Parabrahma Tattva, Parabrahma Jnana. When it is oriented, all the Jnana. The other day I think few lessons, few classes before only I told you that we are all submerged in the Chaitanya, is it? Allow to prevail that Chaitanya in your each and every cell, each and every action, each and every mind, each and every thought. Let that Chaitanya prevail upon you. When the Chaitanya prevail upon you, they are the absolute consciousness. They are absolute jnanam. When a derivation from the absolute jnanam comes into your mind, The mind is synchronized with the Antakarana and Atma and the highest consciousness. They are in relation to these highest consciousness through this path, and automatically when they are related to this, what happens? The agitation is no more there, because there are no samshaya in the manas. Why this agitation is happening? Because of samshayam. What did I say? Samshayatma vinashyati. Whenever there is a confusion, we are destroyed. Now it's a very difficult process for the normal people who are into that, but it is not difficult. Why I say it is not difficult? Everybody says it is difficult. Why it is difficult for them? Because the mind is habituated. You are already following things. You are already synchronizing your mind with many things. You are already practicing that synchronization of mind. It is not new. Instead of synchronizing with Parabrahman, you are synchronizing your mind with other objective results, objective experience. In fact, you are working harder than you should have worked for attaining the Brahman. Here, you have to handle so many things. Through emotions, so many things you have to handle because it's objective, and every moment it keeps on changing. Your mind should be ready for accepting the next moment's change and immediately derive a decision out of it. So you can imagine each and every moment your mind is on the agitation. Whereas when you align yourself towards the highest consciousness, you are constantly in the highest consciousness. There is no agitation of mind. There is no decision making has to be done by you. Decisions have been made for you. You are only violating decisions. You are not making any decisions. In the true sense. I told you this. We are obstructing the implementation of the Parabrahma Jnanam or the Chaitanyam in us. From each and every activity, we are obstructing it. We are not allowing it to flow into us and execute it, allow as it is. No. The moment I think I must do something good, suddenly I will have some other appointments. Mind will immediately create something. Okay, after that I will do the meditation. Today is Sunday. Meditation, every day we need not to do meditation. Sunday we can take an off. I didn't get up early, so afternoon about 1 o'clock after having a sumptuous lunch, let me know. Now there is little time till it digests. Let me do meditation. We have priorities. Mind has given priorities for all other things other than acceptance of the Brahman, other than activity of the highest consciousness, other than the truth of the reality, other than the acceptance of the Chaitanya into us, allowing it to flow into us. You allow it to flow, let it come inside. Why you are blocking it? When you are active, preoccupied with other activities, automatically you are, why I mean say blocking, you are not saying that. You are not saying, oh, Chaitanyam don't come. No, I'm allergic to it. No, it's not that. You would like to have it. Every mind would like to have it, in fact. It's not that anybody would not like to have it. No, not at all. Each and every human being would like to have that Chaitanyam in him, no doubt. But what happens is that he is preoccupied with his activities. The mind and the indriyas is why this is talked. So Shamaha is that absolute shantata towards them. This is called control of mind. Control of mind is not that, okay, there is a rasagulla, I am diabetic, I will not eat it. Control of mind. I have got great control, you know that? That's not control. That kind of control will take a toll upon you, you see. That's it. That's why it is known as control in our sense. It's not control, it is control. Shama. When you get Shantata, when you get the control of mind, the mind, when it is not in the hands of the Indriyas or not functioning with the emotional and intelligentsia statistics, then the mind is under control. When we say control, under whose control? We have to ask. Control of mind means whose control of mind? Under the control of the Parabrahman, under the control of the Parabrahma Chaitanyam, under the control of the highest consciousness. Forget, okay, the words may not be liked by somebody. Don't call Brahman. No problem. Don't call. It's under the control of the highest consciousness. The consciousness. Under the control of that. If it is under the control of it, the mind gets dissolved into that, the Chaitanya. If the mind is in something else, the mind is in that, dissolved into that. So the activities of that will multiply. Whichever area your mind is, that area, activities on that will multiply. When it multiplies in Chaitanya, the Chaitanya multiplies. There you will have a non-agitative mind, because all that knowledge, all that jnanam is prevalent in the Chaitanya. That's why the mind is at peace. There is nothing. Why the mind is agitated? Because mind wants to know. The desire to know, to search. When all the knowledge is there in the Brahmajnanam or the Chaitanyam, mind doesn't want to know anything. When mind doesn't want to know anything, there is no agitation. When there is no agitation, mind is under control. But where here, what happens? Mind wants to know everything. Should I do that and then be successful? Should I be successful in this way? Or should I be successful in that way? Or should I make it like this and create the success into me? Or should I sit idle and prove and just simply declare that I am successful? Many questions will come to the mind. So mind is agitated. He is trying to find out answers for the queries, answers for the satisfy the mind in order to. So he looks for satisfaction in the objective experiences. The more you go into objective experiences, as I told that, you see, the object doesn't give the experience to the mind. The object doesn't give the knowledge. As we said, first came the consciousness. From the consciousness only, the object has come. Ishamaha. So let us not mistake. Control of mind is that I am a great controller. The moment you say I am a great controller, you are not a controller. That's it. Because in the control, there is no control in the sense. The control is only the word that has been made to make us understand in this language. That's why in Sanskrit is known as Shamaha. Now you can say Shamaha in Hindi also. Shamyate. Suppose there is an Agni. Agni Shamini. Something is, what is the word? Agni Shamana Yantra. That is called the fire. Firefighter equipment. Agni Shamana Yantra. Agni ko Shama karna. Matlab Shant. Agni ko Shant karna. So that there should be no Agni at all, then only the problem of agitation comes. Shama is what? Shamanam. Shamana is that. No agitation at all. There it is Agni, here it is the Agni of the desires, attachment and attractions and the Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Vatsarya. All these are creating the absolute contradictory vibrations, and also creates the agitations to the mind. A non-agitative status of mind is called shama. Agitation means anything that disturbs the mind is agitation. Even the happiness, what you call the ecstasy, is also an agitation to the mind only. Because in that ecstasy, you commit a lot of mistakes. Is it not? That's why I recently saw one passage, somebody has written, in happiness don't commit anything, no promises. At that time you are liberal. No. In that ecstasy only this happens. Many people vow in that ecstasy, I got a child, I will shave off my head. Simple thing. Go to Tirupati. Now this fellow is delaying going to Tirupati. Not because he doesn't have money or time. This has to be shaved. Because he has already a vow there. He has to go there. When he goes there, he has to do this. So he says, नहीं, इस साल में time नहीं मिला, अगले साल देखेंगे. Let it grow a little more, so that I can shave better. Agitation, ecstasy में promising, that's so. He made a mistake now what to do now? He cannot withdraw. He cannot become bald for that. No hair, so no shaving. Hey Bhagavan, see what can I do? You made me like this, so let us quit on that, you see. There's nothing there. How can I give you this? So that kind of, this is what happens. In ecstasy, when you don't promise anything. But why? That's also my purpose of telling you is that ecstasy, it's because of agitation of mind only. Hope you understand the meaning of shama in the right sense. So the control of mind is not what people think or what anybody thinks very easily to be done. Who will control the mind? If at all somebody says, okay, what you're saying is wrong. Okay, fine, no problem. What I am saying is wrong. Tell me how you will control the mind otherwise. With what you will control the mind? You can control the mind only with the mind. Everything is done by the mind. If everything is done by the mind, control of mind also has to be done by mind only. The one who has to be controlled has to be controlled by him alone. This doesn't go very well, no? Somebody higher than that should be there. Is why the Chaitanya. So in order to do that, what to do? How to do that? No, it's okay, you have done that, you have said that. I agree that. Now how to do? That also has to be told. How to bring the control, how to synchronize with the Chaitanya, that also should be known. How to do it, very simple. First is that don't get attracted to all these things. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madhamansarya. Stop it. Now it's not difficult. It's again difficult because one is used to it. Then what to do it? In order to make your mind understand why the mind is going after the objects in order to get the pleasure out of it. Mind's pleasure, no? Anything he wants to achieve it. Anything he wants to possess it. Anything he wants to derive a result out of it. This is how the mind's satisfaction happens. Why the mind wants to get satisfied? Why? Because so that he can be peaceful. So it is on a trial and error method. He keeps on searching, looking for happiness here, happiness there. Or should I do this? Or should I do this? Should I do this? Because he doesn't know. Where will he find his material to be controlled? So he keeps on looking for that material. That's mind's characteristic. That's why it is going from one to the other. Keep on going from one to the other. It's because it is never satisfied. If today it is satisfied, tomorrow it contradicts. Day after tomorrow, it further contradicts. Keeps on contradicting. Ideas are changing, attractions are changing, emotions are changing. Everything is changing. It's because the mind is the one who has to control, because the mind is controlling the mind. So in order to do that, how to come out of it is only ways that, because it doesn't understand. Mind doesn't understand how to attain the shamata in him. How he can be peaceful. Shama means peaceful. How he can become peaceful. Shamyate. Shamanam. How he can bring that shamanata in him. Non-activity in him. No activity of mind. How can he bring? Then only it will be peaceful. Shama. Then he will have the only one activity for every act. It's not that you will not be acting after that. Today you have various activities for various objects. Various ideas, various intelligence, various technology, various applications for various things. But when the shamanata has been found out, shama, that means when shamanata has been found out, or when he synchronized the mind with the Chaitanyam, all activities has to be done only with one same application. That's all, nothing else. Because all the knowledges are in Chaitanya. All the knowledges are there. How to make the mind peaceful? There is an answer. Immediately mind is peaceful. How to transport yourself from here to there? There is an answer. How to get that material to you? There is an answer. When mind need not do any exploration, only action has to be done, then the mind is at the peace. Mind is at peace. Mind need not to create exploration, activities, thinking how to do it, experimentation. That's why I always said an experimental experiencing and an experienced experiencing. In normal activities, it's experimental experiencing. Each time you are doing an experimental experiencing. If I do this, will it work? If I behave like this, will it work? You have an intention to make it possible. What are the ways you are thinking? That is not shamanata. Shamyate. It has to be done. The fire has to be totally put off. Then only the shaman, it has to cool down. Then only shamanata from the Agni you can get. Same way, the whole concept of the mind itself has to go. The mind itself has to be vanished. Then only shamaha. This is called control of mind. And from where you get it, all these ideas and all this knowledge, how to get yourself into that status? By going through the great scriptures. The Maharishis and Tapasis who have already experienced and experimented for a number of years and derived the results out of it and have documented for the purpose of people who are ignorant, so that they can go through this. So understand it, and contemplate it and apply it in your life. Then only this is possible. Application is possible. You are doing it. Don't say, oh, so much of work has to be done, this has to be done. Then it has to be contemplated, then it has to be applied on. Right? From childhood, did you know all this what you are doing? Forget about the academical qualification and interest in the subject. The other things what you are doing, your day-to-day function in your house, your day-to-day function in your way of travel, in your day-to-day function of dealing with people, in your day-to-day function of managing your finance, day-to-day managing of your diet, day-to-day managing of earning your living, day-to-day managing of each and every activity characteristics, you have not learned it from any schools. There are so many things that you are doing it yourself. How are you doing it? Why are you doing it? You are doing it, is it not? Same way, you just listen to those which are absolutes. You are trying to find out. You are knowing it. You are learning it. Even in schools, you are learning. Oh, how to do a business management. How to do a technology, your technical institutions. How to do medical science, you go to medical science. You go to physical exercises and practices. And how to do X, Y, Z. Everything is, you are learning it. Is it not? Not from childhood you are born to execute your capacity, what you are doing today. You have learned it. How many years you have learned it? Today you are in certain position. A principal or a chancellor of university has not become a chancellor by birth. No. He had to do a lot of things. The professor had to do a lot of things. Professor had to do research. He has to execute so many things. He has to spend his time. When one really becomes a professor, professing. What's the meaning of professor? The one who can profess. The one who can profess means that after his experimentation and he becomes successful on that, he derived the experimented experience, has been implemented on that and then found the results that he is professing is why he is professor, is it not? How many years he has taken? There are people who have got Nobel Prize at the age of 98, posthumous award also somebody has got it. No? After doing certain experiments. How many years did you take for learning it? And after learning all this, what did you learn? To do a particular kind of thing. That's one small thing in life. Look at a doctor who is a specialist. The first 5 years after the qualification of the basic education, he has to study for normal medicine for 5 years. Then his another 3 years or 4 years, 3 years, he has to do for specialization. And after specialization, he has to work on that for some time and experiment it on that. By the time, what is your age? At least 35. At least 35. At 35, you have become a specialist of what? In the eye itself, there are so many parts. At least I know because we have gone to the eye specialist now. One says, I will look only your power, minus or plus. Another one said that I will see that your cornea is okay. He is a cornea specialist. In the eye, number of divisions they have made, all for each one, there is a specialist, and this specialization of a small part of a body is taking 35 years of your life, contemplating, studying, contemplating, experimenting, experiencing. You have become a specialist of cornea. What happens to the cornea specialist in his spine? Then he has to go to the spine specialist. He doesn't know what to do. He cannot put the cornea into the spine. I already learned. Let me take out the cornea and put it in the spine. It will be all right. We can't do that. Just for the joke, I'd say. He has to do something else. How many years have you taken to learn this small thing? As far as we are concerned, it is small because it's a small part of the body. For that, how many years you have spent, is it not? Then you have experienced, not only that in a he is only a probationer. No. The man who goes there, he says that, what's your age? How long are you practicing? Who is your senior man? Can I see him? Immediately we would like to know. Oh, an old man sitting there, 80 years old, cornea operation. His whole life of 80 years, only cornea. We would like to talk to that old man. Am I right or wrong? Now all this, even that 35, 40 years, this fellow depressed, Because after 35 years of all this, exactly, 35, just a figure I told, I don't know. I not calculated, 35. Then after all this trouble, spending all the money, spending all this experience, and he is doing everything fine, still people come and show, you are only young man, your hand is not yet set, shivering is I am not happy with you. Fellow God, after all this contemplation, he has to go sannyasa only, there is no other way. Then he has to contemplate, then he has to experience, experiment, then he becomes. See, for a small thing of this, you are doing all this. If the same time, if you spend for learning the true jnanam of the Parabrahma, Tattvam Parabrahma jnanam, through the scriptures and through the tapasya, through the meditation, why the cornea? The whole Brahmanda can be understood after that. Nothing else is done. Forget about small thing. I'm just explaining you how we are saying that is very difficult to learn now, contemplate, and then do tapasya and understand the Brahma Jnanam is very difficult. Actually, you are doing much more difficult things here. What are you doing? You are doing much more difficult things. Somebody says, after 5 years of engineering I have studied, engineering is not enough. I have to do MBA over and above that. He goes into management. After studying all the engineering, he goes into management. Neither engineering nor management progress. It's a confusion of engineering and management. Just telling that. Okay. There's so many people like that. Why he has spent all this time? He was experimenting. It's not his fault. I'm not blaming anyone. No. It's a human nature. And after becoming an MBA, what happens? No, this is not good enough. I have to go to Australia and do something else. I have to do somewhere else something else, so that I can become that. Somebody is an IIT in our relations. One man is there who has done his engineering in IIT. After IIT, he went to America. He found there is no choice for that, because they don't really encourage IIT and all that. They have to have their own examinations and all that. So he did, financial, something like 1 or 2 years of course of finance and all that, and he has become a great electronic engineer, has become a financial advisor. In the US there are so many financial advisors. He is a financial advisor today. What have you done? Electronic engineering. What I am trying to tell you is that, not that I am blaming him or the world or the opportunities. I am not saying anything else. They are all necessary. Do it, no problem. But I just compare that, how much of trouble are you taking in order to understand a small thing in your life? So when somebody says, it's only made on that particular subject I am talking about. When somebody says, this is my argument on that, if it is an argument, that if somebody says that, look, it is very difficult to go into spiritual path, I have to understand Upanishad, I have to understand Vedas, I have to do tapasya, I have to do seva, I have to do this, and I have to... What I am trying to make you understand. Then what you attain is a complete knowledge, complete jnana. Instead, you are striving much more than that, and you are attaining only not even a small iota of the Brahmanda. You yourself is not even a small dust in Brahmanda. And your cornea, how it will look like when you, from Google map, they show that 3D. And when they focus on all these things, how cornea of X looks like. Google says, peep, 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 cannot find. Why I said jokingly, all said done is that you are doing much more difficult things than that what you are doing, what you are supposed to do for identification of the Brahman. from where you derive absolute jnana. Go to a tapasvi Maharishi, he will tell you what will happen in sitting in the Krita Yuga or Treta Yuga. He said at the end of Dwapara Yuga, this is going to happen. And these are the people who will be there, and these are the functions that will be doing it, and these are the technologies that will be introduced. These are the ayudhas that will be used. Even that has been told in Treta Yuga by the Maharishis and Tapasvis, what will be done in Dwapara and Kali. Everything is known to them. Everything is seen. Everything can be seen. You don't have to explain anything. You struggle for making a thing. He just do a mantra of 4 lines, opens his hands, and that is there. It's already made it. You must have definitely known how Maharishi Vishrava has made diamonds. That's how he wanted to teach. He taught Ravana how to multiply it. This is what he has learned. He has taught how to multiply things in the diamonds. After making the diamonds, Rishi Vishrava, he multiplied it with the mantra. He said, you do it on my head for experimentation. For experimentation purpose, he did it on his head. It became 10 heads. Well, maybe stories. Okay, you can say it is a story. But it's on certain base informing us the technical know-how that used to be there. Which engineering college Maharishi Vishrava has gone? Who was the principal of that college? How much of experimentation they have done? How much of experiences they have? Just by chanting of mantra, they disappear themselves. We also disappear in the night after booking a ticket in midnight flight. Disappear. Next day morning, where is he gone? Oh, you didn't say yesterday evening he was here. Afternoon, night, midnight. Oh, he has booked midnight. Disappeared. Where is he gone? Don't know. Because some purpose behind it. Okay. Shamaha, control of mind can be learned. So, learning is not, so let us not bring that argument that I cannot do it. Make your mind understand. Immediately your mind will say that, Arey bhai, how can you do it? Mind will immediately, well, if you don't have interest, the mind will say, retract from that, no doubt about it. You have to have an interest to that. You should have an initiation, you should go into it, you should have a desire. Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. First, Ichha has to be there. I have to study that Ichha has to be there. Only that man can go to Gurukula and learn it. Somebody is forced into school and learning it, will end up only in paying fine. That Shamaha, control of mind. So it's not that difficult. If an argument comes to your mind, that's why I told all this, so that your mind can perceive it. It's not as difficult as you are doing today. You are handling much more complicated and controversial points in your life. Today something is there, and tomorrow something else is there. Today this is a problem, tomorrow that is a problem. Day after something else is a problem. There are multiple problems. There are so many things, and you are handling all that. Whether you are handling it successfully or not, you are handling it. Here, nothing. See, you are doing much more hard work. I am talking about it. So why? Only because you are ignorant. That's all. You do not want to have the right jnanam. You do not want to have right knowledge. How are you leading your life? Just trial and error method. No, you have never learned how to lead a life. Have you learned? No. You must have seen some parents. You must have seen some people. You must have seen the society. You must have seen some generations. You have some exam. Somebody or other. You are imitating somebody or other. That's all. Everybody imitates. Everybody imitates someone or other. I have told this number of years ago. If at all you want to imitate, why don't you imitate that Parabrahman? Anyway, you are imitating. Why that Tom, Dick and Harry? Sorry. Why you want to imitate them? Imitate the Parabrahman, imitate the God. We are all doing imitations, so we have not learned how to lead our life, then we would not have been in this condition. We are all doing it on trial and method, trial and error method. Whether I will derive happiness out of it, whether I can get pleasure from here, whether I can get this from there, that from there, that from there. We are doing it on trial and error method and land up in trouble. Nothing has been successful. At the end of life, the dying man, you ask him, which are the things that you have done which is successful? You think now. Nothing. That's why I want to go. He will say, Shamaha. Control of mind can come only from that which can give you the peace, which can give you the jnana. When you are an absolute jnani, there are no doubts, there are nothing, no agitation in the mind. An absolute control you will receive is called, I'm just explaining in threadbare, so that earlier we used to say only control of mind. Of course, about mind we have already discussed quite a lot. But I would like to make you understand and take it seriously, that how should be control of mind. Don't cheat yourself that you have controlled your mind. We have that habit, We want to attain something. Oh, I'm very pure man. When we were children, we used to do that. To go to the temple, one has to bathe. There's a temple. First of all, temple may allow, parents will not allow. So, what to do to that? Somewhere, some temples, in the morning at 2:30 is the first puja starting. And you have to go at 2:30. First of all, getting up at 2:30, you can imagine what's the problem. And children, great difficulty, they will shake you and lift you and then threaten you. Next time I will not bring you at all, then you will threaten you. And at last they will also say that, okay, bribe you also. If you get up, I will get you one masala dosa. Out of that greed, you will get up. Just telling jokes. After getting up, somehow now you have to bathe. Otherwise, they will not allow. Temple can't go. God will get angry. Yeah, I'll bathe. Go inside. You can know what is called the bathing there. Nobody sees there, So somehow wet yourself. Don't wipe your head too much. Only like that and come out. So what they do, mother will come and this one has bathed. That's where this only place where you can feel the wet. So mother will come and touch. Oh, yeah, now he has bathed. Now you can go to temple. We're not bathed at all. When did I say this?
Don't cheat yourself.
Don't cheat yourself. Now what happened? We don't know the seriousness of it. See? What am I doing? Neither I am cheating the mother, nor I am cheating the God, nor the temple, nor anything else. Who I did? I have cheated myself. That is nothing other than that. Nobody knows about it. Who knows about it? That's why I told you in the beginning. Who knows about yourself? You only know it. You know you are a Brahmana or Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra. You only know you are a cheat or you are a good person. Now you only know. That guilt sometimes tells you, oh, I should not have done it. No. That comes to the mind. See? This happens in each and everything we do. So then, what happened? You are only deceiving yourself. You are not cheating anybody. You are only cheating yourself. Shamaha, control of mind. So, I think it's good enough. You understood what I mean. Tell your mind not to deceive yourself is why I told what this is. Tell your mind not to deceive yourself. You're not deceiving. Nobody bothers. Whether you become a sannyasi or maharishi or brahmajnani or you become an idiot, nobody bothers. Who bothers? No one. You only have to bother, is it not? So when you have to do that, you should have, why did I connect it all that? You should have an initiative to do that. You should know when at least now, today you got a facility that somebody is there to tell you that have that initiative to walk through into that spiritual path where you will attain everything. All these pleasures consolidated, all this happiness consolidated, all this anandam consolidated. You will attain everything. Like the tapasvis, like the maharshis, like the great godliness, you will attain that instead of settling yourself to small pleasures and happiness. Don't settle down, settle for small things in life. The life is for attaining a very big thing. Attain that. That's what is necessary. Control of mind is that shamaha, shamyate iti shamaha. That which is shamana, attain the shamanam is called shamya. Then what? Dhamma. It is not only control of mind, here he has written control of mind and senses. When we explain that, it has come into that, the sensory system, that is called the indriyas and the mana. Control of mind. So control of indriyas also there. Control of indriyas is based on the mind. You feel like, getting attachment, attraction, desire, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. These are the activities of the senses, the panchendriyas or the dashendriyas. The dashendriyas create these sensations so that the mind gets attracted towards that. The indriyas create that attraction for the mind. The mind gets attracted towards that and falls into the trap of that, and then thinks that after attaining that, then only the mind realizes, this is not what I wanted. Again, it depends upon the same indriyas who feeds him all that, you see. So mind and senses. So the senses, again the thought. Mind and senses can be controlled by the thought, and these thoughts can be changed by contemplation. Thoughts can be changed by contemplation. Contemplation of what? Whatever you contemplate, the thought will be that. You contemplate Parabrahman, thought will be that. You contemplate your business of X material, the thought will be that. Mind will function according to that. Whatever you contemplate, you will accordingly act upon that. Derive the results after contemplation, because contemplation is what? Contemplation is not, I told you very, very early years of the Upanishad classes, contemplation is not disputing to what you listen from the great Upanishads and Vedic science. It is only to establish that is true. Contemplate on that. Establish. That's called contemplation. That is called Dhammaha is contemplation. Yes, already has come. Contemplation is that again. Contemplate on what you listen to these Shastras and Vedas are true. Establish it. Find out how it is true. To find out it is false, very easy. Contemplate it is true. Yeah, it is true. How it is true? This way, that way, this way, that way. Now you keep on experimenting and finally say, yes, it is true. So it is. Is why Dhammaha. Yes. So through Shama, Dhamma is contemplation. And Tapaha. Tapaha is also contemplation. Dhammas Tapaha is tapasya. Tapa is tapasya. Tapasya is what? Tapasya is also a kind of contemplation only. Tapasya is that Whatever comes to your mind initially comes and let it pass on. Exhaust them. Finally the thoughts will stop. Then your thoughts stop means all these unwanted objective thoughts will stop. Then your contemplation or the tapasya, your senses or the mind will be directed only towards that Parabrahma Jnanam, Parabrahma Chaitanyam through. That's why this is not possible for normal people to identify the Parabrahman and Parabrahma Jnanam and Parabrahma Chaitanyam. So there has to be a form and shape for the mind to accept or go through it. Is why the highest consciousness have created. I told you how the creation has come. The incarnations, the gurus, tapasvis, and jnanis, and maharishis. That's why various descriptions are there. Brahma Rishi, Deva Rishi, Sapta Rishi, Tapasvis, Maharishi, Tapasvis, then Munis, and the Brahmacharis, Jnanis, like that. Various divisions are there. Why? Based on the practices that they are doing. These great divisions, the incarnations are Maharishis, Mahagurus, and all these people are the direct representation of the highest consciousness. For the benefit of the humanity, for the people who cannot see what is the Chaitanya, who cannot see Parabrahman, which is all pervading. One cannot see that. It's not possible. It can't be imagined by a normal human being. So he needs a form and shape. So through that form and shape, you can do tapasya. When you do the tapasya of that object which contains and made of only jnanam, you will be deriving that jnanam only. Is why tapaha is again contemplation. Shaucha is cleanliness. Shaucha. These are the qualities for Brahmana. Shaucham. Shuchikarna. Shaucham is now, we all know Shaucham very well, no doubt about it. Shaucha is not only for the Sharira, Shaucha for the mind. Shaucha should be there in your consciousness. Yes. Today our country is suffering because of this problem of accumulation of all sorts of garbages. Cleanliness, cleaning, that becomes a big problem. More than the external garbages is the internal garbages that is much more today. In every thought and idea and action of the people, there's so much of garbage. There's so much of uncleanliness. They are only practicing unclean thoughts. They are only practicing creating garbages, not trying to make it purified. The purification of thought is that which is necessary, then only the action will be purified. If that is not purified, how can you call it? That's why we call it as sincerity. There's a word called sincerity is a paryaya of cleanliness only. From cleanliness only the sincerity will come, is it not? Otherwise you tell something, you think something, and you do something else. All the three different. So cleanliness is required, then only the what is that? What did I say now? Sincerity will be there. To be sincere, one has to be clean. To be sincere, one has to be knowing what is the truth, what is right, what is good. Everything has to be known. Then only one can be sincere. It is not being sincere to somebody, something. No, it's not that. Sincerity is a characteristic in you. It should be a characteristic in you. He's a good person, he is very sincere. Means his execution of whatever he is executing with right thoughts, right cleanliness, right perspective, for the right purpose, for the right benefit, he is executing the job. Is called sincerity. Not sincerity to an individual. Sincere to me, sincere to my father, sincere to my mother. It's not that. Whatever they say you have done, so you are sincere. Classification of sincerity has come down to that extent today. Whatever I tell him, he does it. He's a very sincere boy, is it not? It is not sincerity. As we thought about the Shamaha, that is not sincerity. Sincerity is that he should be sincere to the core. For what? For based on the Parabrahma Jnanam, Parabrahma Tattva, he has to be sincere. That's called sincerity, cleanliness. Cleanliness of thought, the purification of thought, cleanliness of mind, cleanliness of vichara, vikara, karma, everything is incorporated in cleanliness. Even as I told you, the Sharira cleanliness also becomes a part of it. Just now told you that one is not insincere to do cleanliness on himself. Only pouring water and came with the wet hair is insincerity. Unclean. It's not a cleanliness. Cleanliness of thought is not there. If the cleanliness of thought is there, the action will be clean. You see. So the cleanliness of thought, how can I again attain? Answer is same. How can I attain the cleanliness? Study the Parabrahma Tattva, Parabrahma Jnanam. Cleanliness will automatically come. Any amount of education on any of the subjects will not bring cleanliness to the mind. Be an expert of a doctorate of anything. Will their thought will be cleansed? Can you assure that? I am explaining this, I am elaborating this only for the purpose so that this listening, I know you may not contemplate on these things. But when you are listening, what happens? I told you earlier also, the mind perceives it in one corner or other in the subconscious mind, it remains. At a point of time, this will always come. What has been told. That's why I am just emphasizing all these things so that it keeps on registering in your mind. At a necessary point of time, this should come up, come out, reveal out. Today, whatever you are thinking, whatever you are doing, they are based on the karma bhalas of even previous number of janmas. If those experiences can be remembered and you are executing certain karma today, can you not remember this and execute a karma? Is the principle behind. Okay. So listening, that's why Shravanam is important. In Vedanta, in Veda, they have told the very important message has been told. The first thing is the Shravanam. Lot of listening in the good sense, with impartial mind. Don't judge, because you are not eligible to judge. Simple. Let us not have a misconception on that. Why I should not judge? Because you are not eligible to judge. You are not qualified to judge. That's all. You have to just accept it. See, these are firm commands to the mind. When you give firm commands to the mind, mind has to listen to you. Listening to the Shastras and Upanishads and Gurus will create that cleanliness in you. Remove all that unwanted thoughts. So, this is called cleanliness. Shaucham, Santosham. When do we become Santosha? Not happy, not pleased, pleasure and happiness. Pleased and happy. No, it's not that. What is Santosham? When can you be really happy? I mean, that's the only word I can use. When you have contentment. Santosham is equal to contentment. When once contentment is there, neither ecstasy is there, nor sadness is there, nor worries are there, nor queries are there. When there is no samshaya, when there is an absolute contentment, it's called contentment. Santosham is contentment, which contains that absoluteness, is called contentment. Which contains the absoluteness, is called contentment. It contains everything. Then only the contentment will come. Contentment in the sense, once you have that contentment, you don't require it anymore, is called contentment. I am happy with this, that happiness is never needed in throughout lifetime. It's called contentment. I am contented with it. See. When can you attain this? Only when you retain, perceive, contemplate and retain the Parabrahma Chaitanyam in you, then only you can have the complete contentment in you. Fulfillment, I have fulfilled it, is contented. Can we say today any of our action has got fulfillment and contentment? Even though we use that word quite often, but there is no contentment. There's always a discontentment. Whenever we say something, yes, I'm happy, I got it. But there is a small problem in that. Finished? Contentment is not there. Happiness has come, little bit pleasure has come, but it has come too late. Had it come 5 years before, that discontentment is. Where is the contentment? Nowhere we have contentment. Ate very well, like me. अच्छा खाना तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है. How was the food? Food excellent. After getting a washing hand, oh my God, ate too much. Should not have eaten. What's the use of eating all this? Contentment is not there. If you have eaten so much, you should be contented too. You only became a container, not contentment. Santosham, Shantirarjavam, Chamata, Shanti. Shantirarjavam is called the forbearance capacity. Forbearance capacity is that. What is forbearance capacity? Shamata, Shanti. Is abstaining from those unwanted. Is called Shanti. Shanti Arjavam is that what is that? Shanti Arjavam is called the forbearance capacity. Abstaining from unwanted things. First of all, now this sounds to be very simple. When I know I don't want it, I will abstain from that. So, what is very big about it? The Arjavam. Big word has been created by Vedanta. How do you know what you want, what you don't want? When you know abstinence from that, what is not necessary. How do you know which is necessary and what is not necessary? We're all doing on a trial and error method. If I do this, I will be successful. No. If I do this way, it will be successful. If I do that, it will be successful. If I tell the truth, I will be successful. If I tell lie, if I pretend, I will be successful. How do you know? To have forbearance, abstaining from that which is not wanted, that means you should know that. That what is wanted is based on. That what is wanted, the desire, is based on kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Whatever is all in this, is that what is not necessary. Simple to understand. They are arjava, see. That's why they are forbidden. That's why forbearance. Those which are forbidden, forbidden is that not by force. No? And in Bible they say forbidden fruit. What is a forbidden fruit? Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. That's forbidden. Who did the forbidding of that? You yourself. For what? In order to uplift yourself towards the Brahman. That's why it is forbidden. Not forbidden by anybody. God has not told anything. He has provided everything. Whatever you want, you can accept. Why? Because in whichever manner you want, you can experiment and experience and contemplate, and then you can attain the Parabrahman. Whichever path you choose doesn't matter. I am not bothered. Is why all these things are provided. Thousands of choices have been provided. Thousands of attractions have been provided. These attractions are also based on the Karma Yoga, and through that Karma Yoga, through the attraction you can attain Parabrahman, if you can. Go anywhere you like. Is why all these things are provided. So forbearance is that, abstaining from that what is not necessary for you. That unwanted for you, forbearance, arjava, chanti, arjava. Then comes straightforwardness. Well, straightforwardness is again sincerity. If there is sincerity, there will be straightforwardness. It's interlinked with the cleanliness, see, and also forbearance capacity. When you abstain from those which are unwanted, you will be straightforward. When you are based on when you have a desire, when you have a moha, when you are dependent on that, and when you have to attain something through particular emotions which are not right, through the emotions when you have to attain, then only that straightforwardness will not be there. You will try to hide things. Hide things from yourself. So that straightforwardness will not be attained by you. You will try to go through the crooked way. Means what? You will try to go through the way that you think it is right. That means to attain your desire, to make your desire possible, you will go through that. It's not the straightforward way. Straightforward means is that which is the right way of expression. The right way of expression, whether by action or by thought or by word or by seeing or by hearing or by touching or any of these things, should be straightforward. Chanti Rajava. Rajava is also straightforwardness. Through the straightforwardness, what happens? When you are honest, when you are sincere, when you don't have fear in you, when you are not dependent on something, when you do not want to attain something through your desires, this straightforwardness will always automatically come. When these things are there, then when you have a fear there, where there is a desire, where there is a dependency, where there is an attachment, where there is an attraction, in all these cases, straightforwardness will not be there. Parents go to the school. Teacher says your son has done this mistake. Now why he should be punished? Parent-teacher meeting and all that, or principal called. Well, something or other to make him understand. See, No, sir, I will see that from next time he doesn't repeat it. Please pardon him, something like that. Convince that the person is also listening to that. He is also convinced. Take it. Let him go. Okay, next time I will not allow. There will be a red mark. He will be restricted from their school. All will be told, but still he will again repeat. Again the parent will come. Honestly telling you, next time we will see, he will not repeat it. There is no straightforwardness there. Because parent is dependent on the child. He loves him. He has got putra moha. That makes him not to tell the truth. He knows, parent knows that this fellow doesn't study because he goes still playing football. That he will not tell to the teacher. He will not tell. Oh, is it like that? Oh, but I see him always sitting and studying. I don't know why it happened. His concentration is not good. We will take him to my name, they will say. He will make his mind all right. Many children come here only for making their mind all right. And they will put blame on my name and then they will register there. They have parents, I have told, they will take it to Mr. Muralidharan for getting his mind straightforward. And if that doesn't happen, what to do? Ma'am, I told you last time I will send him. That fellow did not do it properly. Next time, that's an excuse, you see. Straightforwardness is why putra moha, you see. Straightforwardness is not there. When all these things are not there, he'll be straightforward. This fellow was not studying, that's all. No? That's it, straightforwardness. When can it happen? When he doesn't have a dependency, when he doesn't have a desire, when he doesn't have a fear, when he doesn't have attraction, when he doesn't have attachment, then he will tell that. Old. Straightforwardness is not that. Not walking straight. That we all can do. Then comes Madbhaktischa. Otherwise it will be translated as straight forward. Ashwini immediately will walk. Forward, they had only listened forward means go. So, Mother, that's what is straightforward is again Mother. Mother means straightforwardness, huh? Mother. Then Bhakti. Chandra Arjava means forbearance. Straightforwardness is Mother. Then comes Bhakti is devotion. Mother, then Bhakti. Bhaktischa. Devotion. We all know that Bhakti. Shraddha and Bhakti. Bhakti is that we have explained about Bhakti, I think pages or volumes. We talked about Bhakti. No? Not one or two words. Bhakti is not folding hands and standing. Bhakti is not praying. Bhakti is not asking for something. Bhakti is not vow. Bhakti is not fulfilling the requirement of temple, doing dhanam to temple, doing this to dhanam, do to others, and nothing is. Bhakti is what? Bhakti is samarpanam to the Lord. Bhakti is samarpanam to the Brahman. Bhakti is samarpanam to that jnanam. Bhakti is samarpanam to that chaitanyam. Absolute samarpanam. There are no conditions. Unconditional samarpanam is called unconditional bhakti. Bhakti is that just be handing over everything. Nothing should be retained by you. That's called unconditional bhakti. There are no conditions. Bhakti is that to that infinite, to that jnanam, to that chaitanyam, to that embodiment of jnanam. Yes, you can have a shape and form in mind, it doesn't matter. surrender, a total, absolute samarpanam, samarpanaha. No retention. You go pass through a filter, nothing should retain. Everything is given. No? It's called bhakti. Nothing else is bhakti. Bhakti is some upadhis for bhakti. We are folding hands, doing puja, doing prayers, doing this, doing that, all that. They are all path. Upadhi is towards the bhakti. The Shraddha and Bhakti should be an absolute samarpana. When Shraddha is in the Samarpana Bhava, there will not be the self there. That's why Seva Bhavana should be there. They don't feel tired, they don't feel expect anything, and they don't have an expectation for something. It's called Seva Bhavana. Without expecting anything. So what happens? At that time, they themselves are not there. It's only the seva is there. They have to transform themselves into the seva. They have to transform themselves into the samarpanam. Not that he retains and he says that I have got seva bhavana, will be a problem. Then I am the one who is controlling that seva bhavana. So there are limitations. There has to be unlimited. It has to be unlimited. Bhakti is an unlimited factor. There cannot be any conditions. So there is no explanation. There is no elaboration on bhakti. Bhakti is that. That's why bhakti. Even though we may call it as bhakti bhava, they are all upadhis, as I told you, they are all instruments. Puja is an instrument, folding hands is an instrument, doing tapasya is an instrument, thinking of that is an instrument. All of these things are instruments towards leading and taking us towards that absolute path of the absolute surrender. When we are in absolutely thinking something, very intensely thinking something, we are not there, only that is there, is it not? We don't feel ourselves. Even you read a novel sometimes, and somebody passes this way, that way, and after reading it say that I came there twice. Oh, I didn't see. I was immersed in my reading. What happened? At that point of time, you are not there. If you were there, you would have noticed it. You are not there. You are that, what you were reading. We get emotional seeing movies. Because you are not there. You become that character for that moment. So you have the same pain, same emotion, or same feeling of that. You become that. It's not that you. So everybody has got the capacity to have. That's what I am trying to tell you. To surrender. Only thing, we surrender at wrong places, at wrong things. That's all. We do surrender. Every day we surrender to hundreds of things. You have the capability that has been given to you. You are surrendering to your emotions. You are surrendering to your thoughts. You are surrendering to your many things. You are surrendering. Instead, after knowing all this knowledge from the tapasvi, from the gurus and from the scriptures, surrender to that absolute knowledge. Absolute, that's called the absolute bhakti. This is called the classification of bhakti. Nothing else. Asking for something or doing anything for the temple, for the this one, for the charity, this, that, nothing becomes devotion. Devotion is a total surrender. There is no ifs and buts. There are no things that can retain with you. No. Nothing. There should be no retaining. Total surrender is called devotion. That's why it is known as devotion. Devoted. He is totally devoted to so and so. That means nothing of that is his. He is totally devoted. Nothing belongs to him. Nothing. Nothing means nothing, not even his thoughts. Nothing, everything is only for that is called the devotion. Samarpana bhava. Bhagavan says, devotion to me. Bhagavan said, devotion to me. That Ishwaratvam, that Bhagavatvam, that Jnanam, that Parabrahman, that Chaitanya. Daya. This also, I think these are all we have explained in our Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So anyway, Daya is compassion. Daya is not उसको देखकर दया आता है, उसकी हालत इतनी बुरी है तो उसको दया आता है, वो कोई दया नहीं होगा. This internally you are a little happy, you know, that fellow got accident. है? लेकिन बोलेगा दया आता है. तो कहाँ से आता है दया? Where is it coming from? दया आता जाता चीज नहीं है. Daya is compassion inherent in you. Be one with that is compassion. This compassion can happen only. It is very difficult. Compassion is only with Bhagavat, Maharishis, great tapasvis, Ishwaratva and great gurus. Only be compassionate. They can be in them and remove their sadness or their worries, their problems, without knowing, without telling, without making others experience, without others knowing. Doing it is called compassion. When a disciple is in trouble, the Guru, without telling anything, without asking for anything, without knowing anything, without they asking for anything, he knows when it is required. He, in disguise, enters into that body, enters into that mind, enters into that environment and removes that obstacle or make it possible to fulfill his or her karmas, to complete it. Not necessarily always you will save from the trouble. No, don't misunderstand this. You may be, you will be helped in order to fulfill that and complete it. It's called compassion. Nobody will know. Compassion cannot be expressed. It's not that daya aya. No. Oh, dayavan. No. Daya is this compassion which cannot be seen. Daya cannot be an action which can be seen, because the benefit that the other is deriving cannot be seen without him knowing it. He, in full concentration, in full himself being transform himself into that savior of that. Savior in the sense, if you have to continue that suffering, he will make you suffer and then come out of it, not put you into trouble. Sometimes what happens, there are situations when people are having trouble, they will avoid doing karma. That is not the saving. Guru will not do it. He will not have the compassion of saving you from doing something. No. He will make you pass through it. He will give you strength to pass through it and come out of it. It's called compassion. This is compassion. Not that somebody is, you can give the anam to somebody who doesn't have a cloth, you give him a cloth. Who doesn't have money, you give him money. Who doesn't have food, you give him food. Fine, no problem. Absolutely good. But that is not there. Don't think that. That's not compassion. Or somebody died and somebody crying. Oh, don't worry. No. Anyway, he is old. What is the use of his living? He had been a problem for you. Anyway, he has gone. It's good for you. So don't cry. Compassion. That's also not compassion. Crying with him. Oh, you are lost so and so. My God, what to do? You also crying. I am also crying. Not compassion. That's what we do now. When we go to that place where somebody has died, you are supposed to cry. Not out of compassion. None of these are compassion. What I am trying to tell you is that compassion is totally different. Compassion is that how can you gain this power? How can you gain this compassion? Unless you have the knowledge, unless you have jnana, unless you have shama, dhamma, uparadi and titiksha and arjavam. If all these things are not there, how will you get compassion in you? If you got desire, if you got attachment, if you got attraction, if you got moha, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, how can you get compassion? You will be always attracted only to that. How will you get a purified compassion? Impossible. Maligned, nullified, that's all. The compassion that is shown or told today is not the right meaning. This is called compassion, and this can be done only by those who are really the jnanis, the Parabrahma jnanis, who has got the Shama, Dhamma, Arjava, things like that. And Satyam, I think Satyam, there are articles we have told, we have published articles on this Satyam. Satyam is what? Truthfulness. What is truthfulness? Again. What is that? Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat, satyam apriyam. I am not recollecting the other two lines. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat, satyam apriyam. This, I think we have taken this in one of the Upanishad. Satyam bruyat, tell the satyam. Apriyam, it should be priyam, not apriyam. Okay, anyway, that is different. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat, satyam apriyam. Satyam is that which is, what is Satyam actually? What we are classifying Satyam is not Satyam actually. Tell the truth, what you have seen is what we are asking. Whatever you have seen, you are telling is not the truth, but it's a fact. It is a fact, but not the truth. You have seen somebody beating somebody. So, he says, he doesn't deviate from that term. I saw so and so X beating Y. Is that truth? It is not the truth. It is only he has witnessed that. So he says, this is the fact. What is a fact? Fact is not truth. That what you have seen, you have told is a fact. But why he has beaten him, when you go into all the analysis, then you will realize what is the truth. That truth who knows? Nobody knows. Even in the court of law, based on the arguments, whoever has a best lawyer, he wins. That's all. Whoever can lie better, he wins. Can it be truth? Is it truth? There is no truth. They are all based on the facts. There's some the witnesses. We say that, call the witness, what have you seen? I have seen this. What you saw is not truth. What you saw, one scene you have seen and you told that is a fact. This is what I have seen. But I don't know what is the truth. Why did he beat him? Why he has to get a beating from him and what kind of action he has done. And if he has done that action, why he should beat him. And what is that action, what he has done. Is it necessary that he should be punished for that? These are the analyses that has to be done. You will find, when you find the reason for all this happening, that is called the truth. In Vedanta it has been told that there is no other truth other than the Brahman knowledge is the only truth. He said Brahman is the only truth in this universe. No other thing would we speak that I am speaking truth. In the court of law also. हम लोग मूवी में देखता है ना किताब में हाथ रखते हैं. Whatever I say, I will tell only the truth. I will not tell anything other than the truth. That is Satyam Bruyat Priyam Bruyat. He cannot say, nobody can say the truth. What is the truth? Truth is Brahman. What is Brahman? Prajnanam Brahma. Jnanam is Brahman. When you have got Jnanam, then you can tell the truth. A Maharshi or Tapasvi will tell the truth. He will tell, the moment you go, he will tell, this is what you are and this is what you were in the previous life. These are the karmas you have done. This suffering is equivalent to the karma bhala, that what you did in the previous life, like past life regression. This is what you are undergoing, and this you have to undergo this. And in order to have some remedies and strength for facing that, these are the upadhis. This is what you are supposed to do, is called the truth. This is based on only Parabrahman and only Jnanam. Nothing else. Neither you are the truth, nor your karma is the truth, nor your karma phala is the truth, nor you are executing your karmas in order to overcome the karma phala is the truth. Nothing is truth. What is the truth? The Jnanam in that inherent is called the truth. That's the only truth. Because through the truth only, all other things can be identified. That's called the truth. Through which you identify all other things, the facts and untruth and the false and everything, that is called the truth. That can be only one. That's called the Jnana. That's called the truth. Truthfulness. To be with the Brahman is truthfulness. Satyam. To be with that Brahma Jnanam is the truth. That's all. When you become a Brahma Sakshatkari, you become the truth. You don't tell the truth, you don't see the truth, you don't hear the truth, but you become the truth, you become the Jnanam, is the truth. That's why it's truth. That's the Satyam, the truth. Here now, yes, this word is necessary for the common man in our day-to-day functions, is because it is equivalent to that truth. That means that you don't tell anything manifested by yourself. You only witnessed it, and what you know, only you say. What you know, only say is the truth. What you know, you say is knowledge. Again, the knowledge has come in that. So knowledge is the truth. Is why it is known as truth. So truthfulness, to be in that. Satyam Brahma Pragradastu Svidat Brahma Pragradayastumaha Brahma Pragradistumaha. What is that? These are the tendencies of a true Brahmacharya, Brahmana, what we call as a Brahmana. The one who is following the Brahmatvam, Brahmacharyatvam, Brahmanatvam. These are the qualities that should be there in him, or the one who has got these qualities is called as a Brahmana. Now you can decide who is a Brahmana in this world. So by just identifying yourself like this or like this or like this, there are vertical lines, there are horizontal lines, various lines now identifying themselves. There are also bandhana on the neck. They are not Brahmanas. This is the right Brahmana. He is a Brahmana. Okay. Fine, today's Brahmana is good enough. Contemplate on this. Next, we will go to Kshatriya next time. Okay. If you have time. Otherwise, we will straight away go to no varnas. Who are the fifth varna, we can go there. That's very interesting to know. Shambho Mahadev.